要散了。Hi everyone, welcome to Successpedia Asia. A very deep apologies, the mic was muted just now. So yes, a very good evening to all of you. Welcome back to Successpedia Asia Journey to Success Resilience series in this COVID-19, in this period of COVID-19 situation, especially in Singapore. We are going through circuit breaker where everyone is made to stay at home. Henceforth, this series of resilience package that, not the package, but the resilience series has been thrown out to not just in Singapore, but across Asia, across Southeast Asia. And today we are very, very blessed and lucky to have two persons that is coming on board with us. The first to introduce would be Cyrus Chong.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, thank you, Desmond, for the wonderful introduction. So everyone in the live stream right now, my name is Cyrus and I am the host of the Go Social Talk. And maybe you can call me as Cyrus Talks as well because I do my own vlogs and videos too.
Yep. And today, we are thankful that you are willing to come on board with me to co-host for today's special episode from Siem Reap.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right. And would you like to introduce the next person, our beloved guest that is going to come out?
Wow, the next person is gonna be great because this is like, I would say that it's a very good opportunity to talk to him over here at the live stream, because he is not in Singapore right now. He is actually in Siem Reap, Cambodia, and he is none other than Mr. Philip Cao. Come on, let us all give a big round of applause to Philip Cao. Hello,
Yes.
Philip. Nice to see you. And Philip, hello.
Yeah.
Hi,
All right.
Cyrus. Hi, Desmond. Thank
Hello.
you for
Yes.
making it happen. And I'm glad to be here with you guys tonight.
Yes. Okay, so just like probably a brief introduction, because we know that you are the CEO of the Memoire Hotel Group. Now, I've been to your resort before, like I believe like 1 year ago. I've been there, and it was like so stunning. Okay, it's so beautifully done, and our viewers would love to hear from you. Like, a brief introduction about yourself, Philip. Talk to our audience.
Well, thank you for the opportunity, anyways. And as you has been visited our beautiful resort at Siem Reap, which was just opened 2 years ago, and by right, this time should be a very good time for us to start making money. Again, a good time turned to be not so lucky time. What happened right now, everyone is facing it. Uh, yes, a bit of myself. Been in the industry for more than 23 years. Hospitality industry in Siem Reap, Cambodia, and up into my business for the last 6 years, and we have been develop our company from 1 to 3 properties, and we develop one of very unique resorts in Siem Reap. A lot of people love to come and take great holidays with us. Siem Reap is actually one of the, I think, best tourism destinations because of the temple we had. So many temples like Angkor and other great temples spread in about 200 kilometers in Siem Reap. So this is really a cultural city where people wanted to discover what has been done in 1,000 years ago, what people build at such temples. And, this is where what the attractions for Siem Reap itself. That's why Siem Reap actually basing very much on tourism industry.
Yep.
Okay.
So, Philip, maybe you can share with the viewers a little bit. Is that my mic? Is it my mic? Is it my mic that's making a lot of noise? Yes, it's my mic. No, it's not. Okay, so yeah, Philip, maybe you can share with the viewers a little bit on how you became a owner of the resort, the 3 hotels that you own in Siem Reap. We know that you started off your life as a farmer boy, right?
So are we good? Okay.
Yeah, you know, hello.
Hello. Yeah, we are listening. Yeah.
Philip, yeah, the question was for you. So maybe you can share with the viewers a little bit on your how you became a hotel owner of how you became 3 hotel owners from a farmer boy and eventually became the owner of 3 hotels.
It's not so particular because in 40 years ago the country was in a dark moment where civil war was made the country to a ground zero. So want the country back to ground zero, everyone back to normal or survival mode where live based on agricultures and because of most of the infrastructure for the country has been destroyed. When we start from ground zero, everyone I think is barely start from more or less the same. So doing farmers, all this kind of thing is not, or agriculture is actually one of the so-called base industry or base industry for livelihood of any nation or any country on earth before they started to develop to be industrialized or become a modern economics and all this kind of stuff. So it was that the country got peace, and everyone's started to getting better because the country has been also developed slowly in terms of infrastructures, especially education and all this kind of stuff. Make the country getting better day by day. Yet living with that growing up countries, opportunity also quite vast in majority. If you know how to catch it, so actually you are pretty much on time with the development of the country. Everyone would have a greater chance and opportunity to make themselves getting better. That's it. Not just myself, but included a lot of people who are getting better right now because of hard work, catching up with the opportunity, knowing what's next, what the economic direction is, particularly myself, because of tourism, because of the Angkor, the temple that has been built 1,000 years ago, which a lot of people say one of the world wonders that they must come. They, list down as visit, the must visit list in their life. So people in the world, quite a number of trillions, they are coming over, and that's actually bringing the economic and bringing the opportunities. And while I'm in industry, so I could see that as tourist is going to be forever's never die industry. It's going to continue grow and grow. So since I'm in, why not? I'm taking advantage from it. So I actually look at an opportunity and review myself while still working for someone, for other owners. I said, wow, if I do right, if I make myself ready, and one day, even though I'm just an employee, I could be employer too. I could be the owner too. That will come up with the very hard working. Make sure that the reputation, the trust, that you have to actually develop in the market, or become your principles of doing business. Dignities, all these are important. So, yeah, one day, time is arrived 6 years ago. I met up with my friend. I said, hey, look, opportunity in Cambodia are actually just starting. Why don't we actually come up together? See, I'm in industry for so many years. I know what success to be, running the hotels and all this kind of thing. So say, yeah, we start. So we start with little hotels, 48 rooms, and we did enjoy a moment of success. We did see an opportunity to grow, and the reason is that there are some things that not so-called Cambodian hospitality has not been rising up compared to the neighboring country, like but particularly Singapore is already pretty advanced, and you have your own brand. So I think each country have also its own cultures, its own hospitalities, so-called in each of the nations. So I kind of had started to really, develop that vision, and it's actually intriguing me. You say, hey, Cambodian actually have a very long cultures.
Yep.
And the country actually have so much to offer in terms of hospitality, and so far because of it has not been developed very well so far because the industry just started. So why not me to take an opportunity to really start it? And here we are 6 years ago, from 1 hotels to 3 hotels, and I think one of the last resort we have developed it make Cambodians so proud about it, make people so proud about tourist destination as in Siem Reap have beautiful and relaxing resorts that serve the purpose for a long holidays, not just a 2 or 3 night holiday, but they can stay for a week or 2 weeks. So and this is where we believe traveling right now, even before COVID, people will look at more on wellness, more on healthy lifestyles and all this kind of thing. So this is where the last development of our resorts yet is the beginning of our visions in that sort of wellness hospitality.
Great. All right.
All right.
Yes, Philip, you mentioned about COVID. You said before COVID. So we were just wondering, what do you think? What do you think of the COVID-19 and its impact?
Hi,
Well,
Philip. Yeah.
yes, I'm
Yeah.
with you right now. What do I think about COVID, right? I think we should not have COVID. But
Nobody wants a COVID-19. We wish it's without the virus, like things could be much better. So yeah, maybe but there's it happens right now, so we just have to brace through it. So I hope that everyone will be able to tie through. And yeah, Philip, maybe you can share with us as well, like how's the situation right now?
true. I mean, everyone know this is not an issue for any particular country, issue for any particular continent. It is a world issue where I think nation of the globe are actually facing and fighting with this challenging moment. That is including Cambodia, Siem Reap is not isolated, so we are facing much difficulty together in this world. As you see, if you're talking about the tourism industry, this is actually first priority of the list from their activity of lifestyles. One when this so-called threat of safety on their health issue if they travel. With that so-called concern from people or from the government, from the leaders, many countries have actually closing the borders, as you know, or lifted a very restricted way of coming in from one border to another borders. Most of the airlines cancel their flights. This is the career where to bring people one to another place. So tourism is the most or the worst impacted industry, I believe, of what COVID-19 actually existed right now.
Yeah, because you did mention about the situation now is very, I would say it's very serious, and it impact a lot of business and industry as well. Now when it comes to the hotel industry, okay, now before that we know that it's a blooming industry in Cambodia. So that is the reason why we've seen businesses is doing very well, but because of the COVID-19, everyone was being affected. So Philip, I have one question for you. Like how are the hoteliers right now cope with the the COVID-19 right now in Siem Reap?
Well, I basically we all know it's a world issue where global are actually trying to isolate one from another, so which also not allow people to travel. With that, Siem Reap is actually pretty much worse than others, I would say, because we are in terms of economic about 80 to 85% based on tourism industry. So we are actually pretty much depend on the tourism industry. So if this is impact, imagine if Siem Reap as a mall where you have 100 people are walking in and out every single minute, and right now you have only about 15 people are in and out, or right now it's close to only maybe 5% are still in and out. It's pretty quiet, so we are pretty much impacted by this so-called virus spread. So the tourism industry in Siem Reap are actually pretty much impacted by that.
But
we as hoteliers, we are yeah.
no, I mean because given with all the situation right now, like how do they cope with it? Like is there a short-term solution for the hoteliers in Siem Reap?
Well, we don't know how long it's going to last, right? But when it started, we have actually being leaders of Siem Reap Tourism Club, we get together with tourism professionals based in the towns, and we actually met up with authority, with the provincial governors, Ministry of Tourism, and and especially the government, to really discuss about how could we cope with the issue before the spreads, because it started with China, it started with elsewhere. So Cambodia have not actually started to see any infected case. So we actually were worried that things will actually impacted us too. So we looked at it like a 3 months to 6 months scenario, where we actually said if it's happened to 3 months and the world can control, and our country also take a proactive approach to really make sure that we can defend that. I think we look at a short-term approach where 3 months was actually our timeline, and we would say our government have actually pretty much favor to our industry, or actually look at industry as a very so-called precaution, because as I said, 85% is economic contribution from the tourism revenue from Siem Reap. So they are actually pretty keen to look at that, and they have been pretty much helpful to look at several possible way to help us to lighten our weight of expenditures. That when we don't have revenue, the way to survive is to really look at way how can we spend the money less, so that we can live a bit longer. So they has been very helpful in that, and while we are discussions on solution, then COVID actually starts to arrive and impact us. Yet again, I would say it's from our observations, the country have been pretty much, I would say, if you compare to situation where other country, in terms of how do you evaluate it, each country who actually have better protections of fighting with this spreading of COVID, you look at the number of people who die, and particularly in Cambodia, we have about 122 cases only, and we have 0% death. Most of the cases are actually, brought inside, and we have been very much precaution to isolate people and put people in quarantines, and also cure people. And I think by right now we almost cure everyone. So the country seems to be pretty much active on that fighting and protections the spread. That would help us to, if nothing's going to actually change in the next by 2 weeks, hopefully as a promise or as the way of direction from our provincial leadership governors, we can declare as actually clean and non-existent COVID for Siem Reap. We're hoping that national tourists will actually travel again, because instead of hoping to wait for international tourists, which still challenges, because some of the countries are still growing. So we're looking at how can we push as these so-called clean and visitable destination for our domestic tourists. A part of that, we all in the industry, we actually take as a precautions. We know that if we actually allow people to still in and out in our each of the location or hotels, especially we have many people are coming in different nationality, or even though our people, we do not know if anyone actually got infected, and we don't want our place to be a spreading ground. So most of the hotel actually in Siem Reap, 95% are closing door just to actually once we have no guests to serve. Second, we actually needed to have to protect our each respected area, so that we don't become a spreading ground. So that's how we're actually coping with the current situations right now.
Right. So yeah, I mean we move to the next question would be now before we move to this question, maybe let me just share a little bit more about Philip's contribution and some of things that he has been doing. Yeah. Hold on. Let me try to pull out the picture. Yep. Okay. So in this picture, actually we see Philip and his team doing a lot for the people of Siem Reap, for the people of Cambodia. They have been giving out a lot of things to the community in Cambodia. They have been reaching out to the villagers that is more prone and more how do we say unaware of the situation, because there are villages in the province that has no connections to the internet, so they are not linked to the mainstream media, they are not linked to the villages, they are not linked to this and that. So Philip has done a lot to actually help these people. And yeah, maybe Philip can share a little bit more.
Yeah, thank you. You know, those are actions or activities that we are actually joining hands with our governors in Siem Reap. You know, there's a way of doing things in life, and if we are not, you know, great at how can we actually do aftermath, so we should actually, you know, doing precautions. So such way in Siem Reap, we actually choose to do precautions a lot more. Situations that we in the province where we have remote villages surrounded in the province, and they are unaware, or perhaps they do not understand way how to protect or how to make themselves you know, stay away or safe from perhaps receiving or infecting this virus. So we actually do a lot of promotion and campaigns together, join hand with the governors, where the government actually took you know, all these actions, you know, all these campaigns, and we as private sector, we saw an opportunity to join, and we believe that as a tourism, and we believe as a member of communities, even though we are facing or we are challenging with our business, but any little help or any contributions, we are called up for all our community member from the tourism, from private sector. So they actually join us hand and contribute soap and you know, toothbrush, dental kits, some other, you know, food and all these kind of things to distribute to each villages. That's part of activity we were joining. We were there to really offer our help to our provincial leadership, to our governors. Apart from that, we have a group where we actually stay relevant to the current update information from our government, especially the Ministry of Health, where they are actually updated the current situations. So we are monitoring that and share this information to our community. We actually also advocate about, you know, the way that it has been giving us to protect or to really, you know, defend ourselves from, you know, being infected, or try not to be actually too exposed to the virus, if there is, or, you know. So as a group, we have done that, and we told our people that basically this time, you know, health is important. life is important. Other than that, take it as a secondary. So and this virus doesn't tell us when they come or when they wanted to go. So why not? We have to protect ourselves much more. Why not? We have to stay in vigilance to how we expose and how we actually get together, because this is what I think the best effective ways that our country have done, and I think others country in the world also actually have done that. I mean, right now you guys are locked down 30 days in Singapore at home.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is quite effective way to really not to become a spreader of this sort of virus. So in Cambodia, we did such as that, and I would be proud to say that up to now we don't have new cases, and we don't have anyone who actually died because of the virus, and we have most of the people actually recover from that. So I hope this trends, and I wish this trend would change, and with that we would be soon going to be open up our borders and economic will become normal. Then I think business start to reopen again, and we're going to be normalized, hopefully very soon.
Right. So maybe Cyrus, we have some viewers from Cambodia. Why don't you
Yes.
share? Why don't you share what is going on in Singapore?
Okay, so it's basically like, right now, like, for those who are watching from Cambodia, from everywhere, every parts of the world, right now in Singapore, okay? Now, I have to tell you guys what is the latest update right now, because reason why is that we must know what is going on. And you know what? Today we have about 600 over cases, okay? Now I'm going to share with you guys some numbers, okay? The numbers is very important. Now in Singapore right now, they have already gotten how many cases? And guess what? We already have, let me just take a look right here on my updates right here, okay? If I remember correctly right now, Singapore has a total of 4,427 cases confirmed with the COVID-19 affected cases. All right, and I mean, sadly said that we have about like 10 death tolls right now. So I really hope that we don't have more to come in. We don't want to see like the numbers keep going up, but instead the recovery numbers is the only number is allowed to goes up. Right now we have about 683 cases. Okay, so that means that we have about like less than 3,000 cases, which is right now who is still in the hospital. Now, of course, but right now we know that even like in Singapore, even in Malaysia, okay, they are having a some sort like a movement control in Malaysia, whereas in Singapore we are having a circuit breaker. Now, the circuit breaker simply means that, we are encouraged to stay home, and also at the same time, we have to, take precautionary measures as well. But thank goodness for the budget from Singapore, okay? We have the solidarity and the resilience budget from the previous budget announcement, and we were all covered, okay? So I hope you guys are being benefited and to tie through this challenging, difficult time in Singapore as well. So yeah, anyway, now coming back here with Philip together, now I have the next question to ask you, Philip. Now this is a very important question because in Singapore, right, there's a selected industry who sees this as an opportunity, right, during this COVID-19 situation, the pandemic outbreak. So same goes to you. Like, do you think that it is actually an opportunity for businesses, during this pandemic situation? Philip? Okay, just in case. Yeah, Philip.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Many successful people in this world. Yes.
Yeah. So the question is like, do you think
many
like
people in this world who are very successful always, said that many crises really create. yeah, I mean, many people in the world who are very successful always thinks that there's a crisis and there's an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So uh, I actually look at that as this problem is actually a stopper of the wheels of world economic,
Yes.
right? Which any other smaller opportunity couldn't barter with it. If look at perhaps oil price now, they are actually dropped by half because people don't travel because machine all are stopped and so on. So people are not navigated anymore. The movements all are stopping. So I think with a real economic activity, this virus is actually pretty much impacted more than people could imagine. But a positive side or an opportunity side, I believe it helps individual human beings to reflect better of how to live life more in perhaps simple term. Uh, how to take this moment to actually build ultimate bonding with family member, and also look at themselves as a moments of pausing their work to really examine their directions and to really look at perhaps reflects in the past and also try to create the future direction for themselves. I believe this is the benefit for well, we don't want it anyways, but since it has, since it's the fact, by all means, why not are we taking it in more positive way, accepted that we couldn't change the fact of what is happening right now to be so-called what was in the past. So we actually should look at it as it has happened. We have to really deal with it. How to deal with it to get safe, survive, not to become a spreaders. To really have to protect it, not just within the family, but also within the community, within the country. So doing that part is one of the obligation of individuals or each citizens member of each country. Of course, the government have actually laid out all the directive and all the so-called plans. But again, we have to really be aware that we have to collaborate. We have to really conform with that direction, and it's our obligation to make sure ourselves is healthy.
Yes.
And again, I think this is the moment where a lot of people have never thought that they would not have this such. I'm not saying that it's a luxury term, but a term that I think you could understand your children better if you are a parent just like me. You understand your partner, better while you are actually having more time together at home, perhaps have 3 meals a day, and if you choose not to talk to each other, then I think it's weird things. So it's a time to actually
Bond
really look
together.
back at our or the journey of life of everyone else, and it's a time for us to also sometimes feel that that's I think live life healthy, happy. Actually, perhaps it's the means of human being. I think so.
So I think like you're pretty enjoying the moment right now with your family members, right? Yeah. Do you? I think that you're enjoying a lot right now with like putting aside the virus situation. Okay.
Yeah.
But I can see that you're actually pretty enjoying right now. You're happily right now. You're smiling happily. Staying at home with your children, with your family members. I guess it's a good thing for you as well, right?
Yeah. But how do you see the market in maybe even in Phnom Penh? How do you see the potential market of businesses coming out stronger? How do you see young Cambodians starting a business in Phnom Penh and Siem Reap. Oh,
Hi, Philip.
Kevin, can you unmute him, please?
I guess like probably there is a little bit of technical issue because reason why is that Philip now is connecting with us from Cambodia. So Philip, could you just a quick chat with you right now? Could you hear us clearly? Yes.
Okay, now we should be able to hear you.
I guess the connection there's some.
And this is the evidence that this is really truly live across from another country, far further away from us. Right?
Yes.
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, great. Okay, I think Philip is back.
I hear you.
Yes,
Yeah.
great. Yeah. So actually, Desmond was asking a question
Okay.
like, how do you think that this is a opportunity for all the younger generations actually?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Don't worry.
It's
Is it
good,
all
Philip.
good?
Can you hear me right now?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can. We can.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you very well.
Can you hear
Yeah.
us? Can you hear
Okay.
us? Hello.
I believe there's some
I mean,
lagging issues.
every
Yes.
as you said, and do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, okay. I mean, when there's a limitations, people will actually. I hear you. I hear you. I'm good. I can hear you. Hello. Hello.
Yes. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, when there's a limitations, people are actually trying to find a way out, right? And this case also a limitation for people to actually continue the normal business. From there, they try to be creative and innovative. I mean, you guys normally are outdoors activity, outdoors, video maker and shooter promotions. Right now, because of that possibility, are actually uh, zero. So you choose to actually, using digital world to still, continue your work, what are you doing? So I think many of others young peoples or many other businesses actually look at the way. So if this is the problem, how could they actually come out, and how could actually they continue their business? So as I said, because of the demands is quite low compared to a supply that already existed for many industries. So the chance of an opportunity to rise up are actually pretty, I think, little as of now. Yet people that are actually who are more pioneers is actually try to predict or try to find some indicators for what could they do after the recovery. when the market rebounds, what would be the new trends of consumers, of what would be the demands that is going to become up differently? Would people actually get used to the way for digital connections and start not to travel that much, but using a lot of online way for conducting their businesses? Or would people stop doing more traditional, shopping, but yes, place online and deliveries and all this kind of thing, as what happened here? Some restaurants still open, but they use this so-called food delivery. So these are so-called activity where people actually try to survive into their business, whilst other the demands are pretty low. But this is more for survival's mode. But then for economic modes and all this kind of thing require a different uh, thinkings or different strategy to look at it based on each of the business natures. To me, for the hospitality, I believe people would actually look at more on wellness after this, more on healthy cuisines, more on very hygienic place where they stays and all this kind of thing. And the destination where they go is more on perhaps nature, harmonize with natures and all these kind of things, because they actually perhaps take the lesson as because of something has done by the human being, something has done that is actually by the too much of economic development where polluting the world. So we all perhaps, not everyone, but perhaps things that we all create that. We all actually the one who made it happens, and maybe it's a time for us to look at how can we cleanse, how can we perhaps make less
Make the world a
so-called.
better place.
That's what it is. That's what it is. So that perhaps would be the consideration of young generation, where they right now know so many of different things. I come across to one teenagers that basically they say they don't want it to pollute the world by not eating so much of meat or this kind of thing, or they rather choose to be a vegans, because they know that vegan is actually more on vegetables, more on less impacts to the world. So these are maybe not so much as a proven indicators what will be a new trends, but I believe some of this is perhaps need to look at it, because they are the future consumer, they are future demand. So as a business, actually I take that as a quite indicative for me to really see whether it's going to be a true way that I can capture after the market is rebound.
Right, right. So talking about the rebound, will you welcome our young Singaporeans to go over to Siem Reap to help with the building up or strengthening the economy in Siem Reap with ideas and stuff internationally?
Well, I mean, the market is free for everyone. We are open for any such of ideas or business activities or investments. So I think pretty much as we are less developed country or emerging economy, where there's a lot more opportunity to really look at it, and how can the developed or advanced economies such as Singapore would actually have that best practices, and perhaps want to take an opportunity here. So I believe it is the opening door, and we all actually see that as no restriction at all. So yes, anytime one is done, and please.
All right, great. So Singaporeans, young Singaporeans or business owners from Singapore, if you've heard what Philip has said, if you have some ideas, you want to bring some of your business or find opportunities in Siem Reap, please, you can connect with Successpedia Asia. We can connect you to the right people in Siem Reap, and then yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a young people here. I'm a young people, so please connect me. Okay.
Why not?
Now, You guys heard Philip, right? So young people are encouraged to explore. Okay, now some opportunities like maybe you can do something more like offline, which is like digital, online digital. Okay, it's a great time for you guys because during the pandemic, everybody stays at home and everybody's encouraged to go into the digital service. Now the next questions, okay, is like like looking at Singapore as a whole, okay, and maybe like the Asia, I would say. Do you think like Asia is doing good in the controlling the virus situation? Do you think that Asia is doing well in controlling the situation?
Well, I mean, results show from who have done better or not, right? So performance is based on the results. And
Mm.
how do we evaluate the situations? I think we all read the news update from WHO's or some of other website where we could see their update status every so-called 3 hours. And
Yes.
let's look at situation where, like 3 months ago, China found that case and it was spreading quite a very steep in that 2 or 3 weeks. And
Mm.
I think within 45 days, China have actually, start able to control, to cures, and two months later, China seemed pretty much under control. Then other part of the world starting to actually notice the infected virus, where Korea, Japan's, Taiwan's, Singapore, Cambodia's, and all this kind of thing started to see number of cases. Yet the report from number of cases from Asia seem to be actually pretty much under control and slow down, and the death case are actually pretty low. Where right now Europe seems to be still on the fly, right? And again, many people have actually, unfortunately, passed away because of that infected virus. Now, seem U.S. actually, take a lead to be more infected, places where Russia also started to come up. So where Asia actually slowed down, right, or pretty much or under the control. If the current so-called movement is like that, I believe we all can see that the impact on Asia are little or less compared to Europe, America, and perhaps even Russia. So this is a fact that people can read and understand that. However, I'm not able to really comment why things are like that, because I'm also reading the same information posted on the
Yes.
website, and I take note on that as informations, as how the situation of the virus are updated throughout the world. So
Right.
what I could wish is that this so-called COVID-19 should actually disappear ASAP, so that we all shouldn't actually facing with that. And I'm very sorry to those people who actually got infected and subsequently passed away because of that
Yeah.
virus. And it's a sad news for all of us,
Yeah.
as a human being, but it's also a fact of life. People die in different way anyway. So and these things happen. We don't know, and nobody know. Maybe somebody know. I don't know too. So let's just leave it as much as precaution as possible.
Yep. I have a question, but before I go to my extra question for you, is I just want to tell you that when there was a time when Cambodia took in the cruise, when
Yes.
no countries, it was really an amazing action that touched my heart. And
Wow.
I think Successpedia Asia actually wrote an article, and then we started sharing. And yeah,
Hmm.
it was really it shows the big heart of the Cambodians, truthfully.
I
Yeah.
mean, as of now, even though we are fighting together with other countries, the Cambodia has not actually pretty much look at it a very alternative defensive way on how monitors or manage the case. I mean, a small country, a bigger heart, where our prime minister have actually said, and he has shown to the world of Cambodian hospitality and kind heart. We are so, and again, I pretty much, proud about how our country leadership have actually monitor the case and actually stay very relevant of what's happening from the country, and let the people know that we are under controls. We are take pretty much a precautions on every people move in and out. I mean, to share you a snapshot story where Khmer New Year is actually 14 to 16. Normally, all the members are actually meeting up with everyone, and the celebration at the pagodas, at the community base are at live. People are actually meeting up, have a lot of fun, and because the government have actually foreseen that it's going to be, if there's a case, it's going to be a big spread that we cannot stop at that one fingertip. So they have actually started to set the direction to lockdowns and to make people stay home and to really delay the celebration of Khmer New Year's to the the next time when the situation under control. So I think this sort of direction is actually pretty much as very effective to to make sure that our people are safe and healthy. And now on the 17th, we didn't see any case so far, and we didn't really hear anything. So now it's a world is digital age, so if there's anything happen, people will share, if there's anything who actually spread in based on different community, or if people impacted to their life or they die. I mean, there will be a funeral, there will be a case, but so far our social medias, our informations and all this kind of thing is actually pretty stable, pretty much quiet on this such of information. So I think our country, I would very much again appreciate about how they actually deal with the situations. And thanks to Prime Minister's Hun Sen, where he actually the chairman of this crisis. So actually he done pretty well.
Awesome.
Yes, awesome. Okay, so Philip, since that because currently you're not in Singapore, and we are all reading the same sorts of the news. Okay, how
Right.
Asia fight the situation, the pandemic, the virus, But I want to ask you, right? How do you look at Singapore in actually like controlling the pandemic situation?
I mean, I think there's a case still updated, but I believe the 30 days lockdown, I think pretty much as effective. I know everyone, especially advanced economic like yours, used to really run, and now suddenly you don't even walk. You start to sit down and scratching your head, say what happened to us? Why are we at home? But I believe stay safe and healthy right now is a good thing, and it's not because the government forced you to do so, but I think you should actually take it as your obligatories and to make yourself safe and healthy first. This is priority, and anything will come back. I'm glad and also quite happy to see how Singapore government have done, helping those people who are unemployed, who need it to survive, and come up with some stimulus package to look at different impact industries, especially tourism industries and all this kind of thing. I think what you have done as advanced country is pretty much as a role model, a sample that any country who have a possibility to do so would actually should look at it, and perhaps this is how. When a bad time, the government have to come up and help the people, because when in the good time, actually we help the government by giving us our tax monies and doing our economic and make sure the employment are still there. So we did our job when the economic stable, but in this bad time, I think
It is
Come down
time.
and have the bus.
Yeah, it's a returning time, right? The money comes back to us. Okay, yeah, of course, yeah. Singapore has done a very good job because they are actually spending billions of dollars, okay, like almost like 5.5 to 6 billion of dollars, helping all the Singaporeans to tie through the difficult situation. So with the breakdown, with the circuit breaker right now, yeah, Philip, do you think it's gonna be extended?
Well, again, you ask me such like I'm an expert to
No, no, no. Just
the
it's
spirit
okay.
of
Just
Opinion, opinion.
general opinion is fine. Yeah. Do you think we will extend the 30 days? Do you think it's
Wow, it better not be
I,
30
I, I,
days.
I couldn't say, or I don't want to say, because next time I stop on the Changi airport and people will stop me, say, hey, you know what? You asked us to stay another 30 days. That's what we don't want. So,
Philip, I've been home for 12 days. It feels like 21 days or even up to 200 days for me. I'm really going crazy at home, really.
Yeah, same
you
either,
know,
same either.
human being is actually the best so-called talent that we have is the adaptability. I mean, you imagine how people live in the North Pole, right? In Africa, right? Or in some part of the world where weather actually one of the challenges to survive. But people still continue living because they are able to adapt it to. And um, again, don't take me as a very positive to that, and is what I actually happy about it. No, I actually have the same feeling as other people where we don't want it to stop, and we don't want to face that challenge that see other people, or we are actually going through a very difficult life because of, if the economics stop moving, that everything will actually stop. And of course, every responsibility that we have to really ensures that our businesses, our lifestyles, and all these kind of things will actually stop from a normal way of living. So we are not happy with that. I don't think anyone would be happy with it. But as a fact that we had it, as a fact that we already now, the virus is already spread. So you can't really, complain to the whole world, or shout out loud, say that you don't want it. It already in your hands. So you just need to manage it. And I believe we all actually have the right. We all actually control our own life to manage it, to make sure that this is the moment of time where instead of not making, because you can't do contribute to the academic, maybe you actually look at each of the human welfares, each of the family members welfare, and of course we still can talk like what we have done today. Of course it doesn't actually impact to the big economic view, but if we stay longer, maybe we all will actually figure out what to do better too. So that's adaptability and the change that we all can actually create it. And I am positive that new way of working will be established after we actually get rid of this, COVID-19.
All right. Yeah. Great. I think so too. So I guess that really explains. Cyrus, do you agree that really explains how Philip is able to stay positive all this time?
Yes, I like looking at how he actually looking at the situation, like he's actually like looking at it very positive, which I am very curious how he does that, seriously.
I think it's really inbuilt in him. That's the reason why he runs the largest resort in
Yes.
Siem Reap, and from nothing he built up his empire with 3 hotels, and leading all the tourism industry people in Siem Reap. Yeah. All right. Philip, we want to throw you the last 2 questions for the night. Cyrus, do you want to go for?
The next one.
Yeah, I think I want to. Philip, would you like to know what is Cyrus' greatest wish?
My greatest wish, well, even I don't know what is my wish. I had a lot of wish actually. So Now, instead of asking me what is my greatest wish, I would like to throw this question back to Philip. What is your greatest wish? But yeah, but I think but before that, right, we have to share with Philip first, right? What is the greatest wish? My greatest wish is that I can really have the virus to go away, and of course, at the same time, maybe I can continue to stay home and work. I don't mind. I'm starting to enjoying myself working from home actually. So yeah, maybe we can consider that more. To all my
No, I don't consider that. No, sorry.
no, I do enjoy. I really start to enjoy my time right here already. So I'm not too sure about you. You've been doing all this live every single day.
Yes, I've been.
Serious.
Yeah.
Like maybe like for the first week I couldn't take it. You asked the viewers right here. The first week everybody was complaining, like saying like it's so tough, it's like so demoralizing, it's so stressful, and the bed is keep for those who are working from home, they just keep on to like working halfway they can sleep. The motivation is not that strong, but like entering the second week, I guess everybody has been doing well. You can see that people enjoying the food at home, the delivered food. Sometimes you can see that even myself, I eat Thai food, jet food in my house, in my own comfort
Right.
area in my home. I don't have to go out anymore. So I guess it's like a good thing as well. So I'm not too sure about how about you, Desmond.
I don't think I want to talk about that now. It's very deep. Yeah, but I'm more interested in Philip. Yeah, which
Okay, Philip will share with us in a very short while because reason
one,
one is that we are actually trying to connect with him again because the connection right there in Cambodia is actually not very very smooth tonight because I
yeah.
think it's due to the the technical errors somewhere.
Actually,
So,
Sarah, do
mm,
you still remember when we went to Siem Reap on an assignment together? The connections was actually very good, right?
very good. Yeah, the connection right there is surprisingly good because comparing to the country that we've been to recently, do you remember the connection there was like not so good? which
Welcome
which
back, Philip.
Yes, hi, Philip. Welcome back.
Sorry.
No, no,
I
it's all
It's,
right.
just
it's okay.
uh,
It's okay. Yeah. Oh, we
normally
want to know what's your greatest.
normally the so-called the connection here, the internet here is pretty stable so far. I mean, just happened today is that because of perhaps even the airwave now got a little bit of infected by this COVID. Perhaps that's why we are a little bit in troublesome.
I guess they
Yes,
need treatment. They
yes.
need treatment too.
They need the treatment. Yeah, that's why I was actually telling Cyrus the last time we went together for the assignment at the hotel and everything. The internet was wonderful. Everywhere we go to is 4G and 4G and 4G. It's really even better sometimes to our neighboring country that we
Yeah,
visit. You know that?
yeah.
Yeah.
You see, sometimes things disrupt in life without precaution. So I think just take it as it is, and
Yes.
of course,
Move
it
forward.
is not as nice for our audience to really, sometimes wanted to follow us through for every single word, but apologize for that. And learn how to really accept it and maybe forgive us for not associating with you
Okay, so I guess like tonight
so let's
it's
continue.
it's oh yeah, you're back. You're back. Okay.
I,
So
I,
so yeah, we our next question is that what is your current greatest wish?
hmm. I think Philip is still trying to
To connect back.
reconnect.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
All
okay,
right.
I think yeah. Are you there? Are you with us? Is he
Yeah, I'm
back?
with you.
Ah,
Oh, you're with us. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your greatest
Yes.
wish now?
Well, I wish we don't have that, but this wish is actually is already over because we already had that. I wish we could, or as a world, shouldn't really have anyone who died because of that virus. But as a fact, people had already infected, and many 100,000 people actually has lost their life, and it's not. I if anyone who actually lost your loved ones in your own member, you know how much pain you've gone through. Actually, share my sadness and contribution to that. In life, we actually gonna face that. Any one of us will lose the loved ones. Once again, we don't want to do it, but when it happens, the one who actually gone through that situation moment would feel very sad, and I could understand that. I had gone through that experience. So, however, take it as normal of life. I actually encourage people to, think positive and move on. And I think everyone should actually, again, it's only us. We, can actually make ourselves healthy and safe. And we all want more than what we need. So this is the time where we think that perhaps what we need actually is lesser than what we want. So why not just relook at that and make sure that our life is, I have this belief who live life to the fullest happiness. So do what you think you like, and of course, it's a natures that we need to be harmonized with, and I believe if you look at the natures, just like now, we are a little bit peaceful because we don't hear any voice of the airplanes flying across and now. So take it as a fact that we are quite harmonized. Yet again. Stay positive, I believe, and that's what I always do. Self motivations for to continue your livelihood. Don't worry, it will come. I mean, economic will be back. It don't stay like that forever. Don't worry too if you have to walk back 3 or 4 steps because you still have life and still have an opportunity to continue. Look at the people in fact already gone away, so you are more blessed while you still have your life and you are still healthy. So whatever you might not have right now as you're supposed to have, it means that it's not belong to you. So don't grave about it, right? So just be realistic. Take it as perhaps disasters of moments in the world, and it will look at many epidemic in the past, or look at many war in the past. I mean, our country have gone through wars like 3.5 years. We still come back, right? So, and everyone still come back. So don't just pressure yourself so much. I actually, especially Singaporean, through what I know, you seem to be very, so-called fast mover in your way of life and living. So you can slow down in your own natures because you believe to run faster, to be ahead of everyone is your culture, is your strength on this kind of thing. But I think in these moments, perhaps stop running a bit, walk and breathe the clean airs, and look at the families bondings because you are together means a lot. So I think this is the times to have a good reflex, and I would wish everyone's actually healthy and and let's again live a beautiful life once the academic is back, and start our own activities and move on again.
All right. Cyrus was asking me what was one of my greatest wish now, right? It's
Right.
actually once this thing is over, I want to fly over to Siem Reap, meet up with you, have a good drink with you, Moriban, and then
All right.
Penang. Yeah.
Wow,
Same.
you know,
I would love to go back to Siem Reap again too.
we are existed to welcome you. You have done so much of activity for charities and all this kind of thing, so we can start to do it again. One way or another. It's a good way to do it.
All right, great.
Mm.
Okay, so yep, I guess Cyrus, thank you so much for being here with me as well, Cyrus,
Thank
and
you.
thank you so much, Philip, for being online with us. You know, it was really a great. I spent a great time catching up with you, and I hope the audiences, despite a little bit technical issues here and there, you can forgive us and you know we've been trying to get the connections right and delivering to you some of the contents and some of the things that Phillips have said, which is very encouraging for him to share how to stay positive, for him to share the situation in Siem Reap, for him to share his opinion on Asia and Singapore, and yeah. So I hope all of you have a great night. Did you have a good night, Cyrus?
Yes, definitely. Especially, like, I'm so happy to see Philip once again after the last trip in Cambodia. So it's a great sharing session too, which I really love the way he said it, step backwards for 3 to 4 steps in order to move further. Okay. So that's a great word, it's time for us to slow down a little bit, not chasing after our dream or the mission or the goal so closely. It's time to step back, relax a little bit, and continue to move on.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Thank you very
With that,
much, guys, for your
thank you
time.
so much,
Wish
Philip.
you a
Thank
great
you.
night. Thank
Good
you.
night
Thank
to you.
you.
All
Good
right.
night. Good night. Bye bye.
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 Bye, Philip.
Bye bye.
Philip.
Bye.
All right. Yes, everyone. We thank you so much for your time as well. This is your host, Desmond. Can we bring Cyrus back for a while? Cyrus. Bring Cyrus. Cyrus. Yeah. And then now
You did
speak.
mention, yeah. Luckily, you did mention about like bringing me back. I was like, oh, relaxing. One corner.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, you are my co-host. I cannot end off alone yet.
Yes.
Yeah, so probably I just want to thank your presence with
Thank
me.
you.
Can
It's
you
like,
do a high
I
five?
just love the virtual thingy, like high five, high five.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. So stay tuned with us for tomorrow. But before we go to that, to share with you who is coming up tomorrow, I also want to let you guys know every Wednesday, Cyrus is holding his Go Social Talk. So Go Social Talk is a platform where he and his co-host, who is called Real Tyler, the two of them. And Real Tyler is actually one of our guest hosts for one of the episodes as well. And we have a very, very famous actor that's with us, but I'll keep it a secret for all of you for now. Yep. Yeah, but yes, so Go Social Talk is a platform that shares a lot of the things that's ongoing in Singapore. They talk about the COVID, they talk about things that is positive, they talk about things that's not going well and what are the citizens thinking of and what are people on the ground. Is that right, Cyrus?
Yes, Go Social is actually an online talk show that is supported by Sure Singapore, and we actually share. Yes, and we share a lot of like latest trends, latest topics in town, regardless of Singapore or any other country.
Upgrade now.
Upgraded already. We move
Upgraded.
on to a bigger market. Yes.
I'm still stuck at supermarket.
No hoarding of product, please.
No toilet paper.
Yeah, no toilet paper. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So Cyrus, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for your for inviting me over here as well.
You're welcome. All right, good night.
Good night.
Bye. Okay, yeah. So guys, everyone is back to me now. So I just want to share with everyone who is coming on tomorrow. Tomorrow we have joining us Daryl Saw. So Daryl Saw is our guest speaker. He has been in the F&B for the longest period of time. Ever since he was 14 years old, he already started stepping into the F&B all the way up till now, 20 over years. He is the owner of Center for Tax Max Grill. All right, I don't know whether I pronounce it properly, and he is also one of the directors in Sauce Adventures group of restaurants. And very importantly, he is a whiskey expert. So if you have any questions regards to the current F&B scene, the whiskey scene, the alcoholic scene, not that he's an alcoholic, but yeah. Yes, if you have all these questions, still stay tuned. If you're from the F&B sector, do share this news with your friends to so that everyone is able to find out more and speak to Daryl. All right, that's it. Desmond here, Successpedia Asia, Journey to Success Resilience series. Thank you so much. Good night. Signing out.